A warm welcome to you, my friend. And it's a quiet joy to be here with you this evening as the world outside softens into night. You've chosen a special path tonight, a gentle wander through time to a quiet corner of Athens, Georgia, where an ancient white oak tree stands proud, not just as a sentinel of the earth, but as its own quiet sovereign. This is the tree that owns itself, a legend born of deep love and the unyielding grace of nature. In this journey, you'll find yourself drawn to its mighty trunk, feeling the dappled sunlight filter through leaves that have whispered secrets across centuries. You'll hear the soft rustle of branches in a lazy southern breeze, catch the earthy scent of soil warmed by the sun, and sense the cool shade that has sheltered generations, children at play, elders in reflection, and the steady heartbeat of the land itself. It's a story of persistence, of a colonel's boyhood affection blooming into a legacy that defies the years, where an acorn's promise rises anew, and love for the natural world holds fast like roots entwined in the heart. So if you're ready, and there's no hurry at all, allow yourself to settle deeper into whatever cradles you now. Perhaps adjust that pillow beneath your head, draw the covers to just the right warmth, and let your limbs rub heavy against them, supported fully without effort. If your eyes are open, you might close them gently now, or simply let your gaze soften. Breathe in the familiar air of your room and exhale anything that lingers from the day. There's no place you need to be but here. No task but to rest. This moment is yours, wrapped in care. With that, let's step softly into the story together, where time moves like a slow river and peace awaits under the oak's timeless canopy. Now, as we ease into this evening's gentle unfolding, let's take a moment to truly arrive in your body, in the space you've made for rest. You notice the surface beneath you, the mattress yielding softly, the sheets smooth against your skin, holding you like a quiet embrace. There's no need to shift or adjust further. Whatever feels right is right. Simply allow your weight to surrender, letting gravity draw you down into the support that meets you without question. Bring your awareness to your breath, that faithful companion that's been with you all day and now carries you towards sleep. You don't need to deepen it or lengthen it. Just observe. Feel the air as it enters your nostrils, cool and light, brushing the sensitive edges of your nose. And then, as you exhale, it warms, slipping away like a sigh released to the night. Your chest rises ever so slightly with each in-breath, a gentle lift, like the swell of a distant wave, and falls with the out-breath, a soft settling. Your belly, too, moves in its own subtle rhythm, expanding with ease, then releasing, as if making room for calm to gather within. With each breath, you might notice a little more space opening inside. A quiet room where the day's echoes fade. Inhale, and the world softens. Exhale, and peace expands. There's no right way or wrong. Your body knows this dance. If your mind wanders to tomorrow or lingers on what was, that's fine. Simply guide it back with kindness, like a leaf floating home to the stream. Now, let's invite that calm to spread through your body, beginning at the crown of your head. Feel the top of your scalp, resting against the pillow or the air above. It's warm, perhaps, from the day's gentle holding, and now it softens, the muscles there letting go of any unseen tightness. You might imagine a fine mist of relaxation, like morning dew on new leaves, settling over your hair, your temples, easing every follicle into stillness. Travel that awareness down to your forehead. Notice the skin there, the smooth plane between your brows, where lines of thought sometimes gather. Let them smooth now, unfolding like petals in an early light. Feel the weight of your forehead releasing, sinking deeper into the pillow, supported without effort. Your eyebrows rest neutral, neither raised nor furrowed, simply present. Around your eyes, the delicate circles of muscle that have blinked through hours of seeing. Allow your eyelids to grow heavier if they're closed, or to invite closure if open. The lashes brush lightly against your cheeks, and behind those lids, there's a soft darkness, vast and welcoming, like the shade of ancient branches. Release any strain at the outer corners, letting the eyes sink back into their sockets. Bathed in quiet. Your cheeks now, the apples of them, perhaps still holding a faint warmth from smiles or the day's touch. Let that warmth spread into ease, the muscles softening as if kissed by a cooling breeze. Your nose, that steady bridge, inhales and exhales without fanfare. Feel its center relax, the nostrils flaring just enough for breath's gentle flow. And your jaw, that hinge of words and meals, you might notice if it's clenched ever so slightly from unspoken thoughts. Now invite it to drop, to part just a fraction if it feels right, or simply loosen. The teeth rest apart. The tongue lies flat and still in the floor of your mouth, heavy as a petal unfurled. Feel the jaw's weight pulling downward, releasing into the pillow below, free. This ease travels to your neck now, that graceful column supporting your head. The front softens first, the throat opening like a path cleared of stones, allowing breath to pass unchallenged. The sides of your neck release their subtle guard, muscles lengthening as if stretching toward a sun-dappled horizon. And the back, where the skull meets spine, feel it cradle, the pillow or surface catching every curve, holding you steady. Your shoulders, broad or narrow, carry so much in the light of day. Now, with a slow exhale, let them drop, sliding away from your ears, melting toward the bed. The tops of them soften, the blades beneath gliding apart, creating space across your upper back. Any knots there, small or lingering, dissolve like mist in morning sun, leaving only warmth, only rest. From your shoulders, awareness flows into your arms, first the upper parts, the biceps and triceps that reach and hold. They grow heavy now, sinking into the sheets, as if filled with the rich soil of the earth. Your elbows rest, unbent, and down to your forearms. The muscles there uncoiling, veins and tendons quieting. Your wrists, those hinges of grace, loosen completely, palms turning upward if they wish, fingers extending like branches seeking light. Each finger now, the thumb strong yet supple, the index, the middle ring, and pinky, receives this invitation to relax. Feel the joints soften, the tips heavy, perhaps tingling faintly as circulation eases. The nails, the pads of the fingers, all at peace, held without grip. Your hands, cradled in their own warmth, complete this wave. They might curl slightly or lie flat. Either way, they rest, open to the night's quiet touch. Now bring that flowing calm to your chest. The center of your breaths rise and fall. Feel the ribs expand and contract. The heart beneath beating in its steady, unhurried rhythm, like a distant drum in a forest glade. The muscles across your chest soften, the sternum settling, as if wrapped in a blanket of soft moss. With each inhale, the chest fills with ease. With each exhale, it yields deeper. Your upper back mirrors this, the spine's gentle curve supported fully. The shoulder blades draw down and apart, creating a wide, open expanse, like wings folded in repose. Any arch or curve there releases, lengthening into the bed's embrace. And your belly now, that soft center of holding and release. It rises and falls with your breath, the skin warm and pliant. Let the muscles there slacken, the navel a quiet pool, drawing in the calm from above. No need to pull in or tighten. Simply allow it to be round and rested, like a hillock under summer sky. The lower back follows, the lumbar curve cradled by the mattress, small of the back, softening as if smoothed by a gentle hand. Feel the weight distribute evenly, the tailbone grounding, rooted like an ancient trunk. Awareness drifts to your hips, those wide anchors of movement. They widen now in the stillness, the joints loosening, the pelvis tilting naturally into support. The glutes and the creases where leg meets torso release their day's labor, sinking heavy and warm. Into your thighs, the great muscles there, front and back, unwinding like ropes coiled too long. The outer and inner seams soften, the skin against the sheets a subtle friction that fades to smoothness. Feel the bones beneath, the femurs resting long and straight. Your knees, those quiet pivots, ease open, the backs of them pressing lightly into the bed if you're on your back, or wherever they find comfort. The kneecaps float, weightless, down to your calves now. The muscles that carry you through steps unseen, they relax, lengthening, the Achilles at the heels softening like a bow unstrung. And your ankles, circling gently in awareness, then stilling, the bones settling. Finally, your feet, the arches, the heels, the toes. Feel the soles grounded. Even in rest, the heels heavy, the balls of the feet soft. Each toe, from big to small, uncurls. The nails and pads at ease, as if dipped in cool stream water. Now with your whole body invited to this deep repose, sense it all together, the head heavy, the limbs leaden, the torso a vessel of quiet breath. You might feel a wave of warmth spreading from toes to crown, or a cool tingling of release, or perhaps just a profound stillness, like the hush under a great oak's shade. Your body knows how to rest. It remembers. And as this calm deepens, you find yourself imagining a soft path ahead, winding through green hills toward a place of timeless shade. With each breath, you draw closer, not with hurry, but with the ease of a leaf on the wind. Inhale peace, exhale into the journey. 5, your body lighter yet rooted. 4, the path clearer, the air fresher. 3, the scent of earth and leaf rising. 2, the first glimpse of branches overhead. 1, and you step gently into the story, where the tree awaits, its presence a quiet welcome across the years. You find yourself on a narrow cobblestone street in the heart of Athens, Georgia, where the afternoon sun of a long ago summer casts a golden haze over everything it touches. The stones beneath your feet are worn smooth by countless steps, their irregular surfaces rising and falling like gentle waves frozen in time. You walk slowly, unhurried, the soft click of your shoes echoing faintly against the quiet facades of old brick buildings, their windows shuttered against the warmth, vines of ivy climbing lazily up the walls as if drawn by some ancient pull. The air here carries the rich, loamy scent of southern soil, mingled with the faint sweetness of blooming jasmine from a nearby garden gate. It's warm on your skin, that sun's embrace, not scorching but enveloping, like a shawl draped across your shoulders. You notice the breeze, light and playful, stirring the hem of your light cotton dress or the sleeves of your shirt, carrying whispers from the trees that line the way. Birdsong drifts down from above, soft trills of cardinals and the distant coo of mourning doves punctuating the hush with their unassuming melody. Ahead, the street opens to a small square where the world seems to pause. And there in the center she stands, the tree that owns itself, a magnificent white oak whose branches spread wide like the arms of an old friend welcoming you home. Her trunk is broad and garled, bark etched with the deep furrows of 400 years, silver gray in the dappled light. You draw closer, your steps slowing to match the tree's own timeless rhythm, and you reach out, not to touch yet, but to feel the air around her, the subtle hum of life emanating from her core. You circle her base slowly, the 8 feet of land she claims as her own, a sacred circle of soft grass and wild violets, untouched by the town's busier paths. The shade she offers is immediate, a cool respite that brushes your cheeks and arms, chasing away the sun's lingering warmth. You notice how the light filters through her leaves, millions of them, broad and veined like green hands, creating a mosaic of shadow and gold that dances across the ground, inviting you to linger. And as you stand there, the years begin to soften around the edges, time folding like the pages of an old book, revealing glimpses of what has been. You feel drawn to settle on a low stone bench nearby, its surface smoothed by generations of sitters, And as you do, the cushion of moss beneath the bench cradles your weight. Your back rests against the rough-hewn wall of a garden fence, and you let your hands fall into your lap, palms upturned, absorbing the quiet vibration of the earth. It's the 1820s now, or so it feels, as the scene shimmers into focus around you. The cobblestones gleam after a morning rain, puddles reflecting the wide blue sky like scattered mirrors. Children play in the square, their laughter light and bubbling. The patter of bare feet on stone, a rhythmic counterpoint to the tree's steady presence. You watch as a young boy, no more than 8, with tousled hair the color of ripe wheat, darts toward the air. This is William Henry Jackson, though you know him only as the child he is. Eyes wide with wonder, cheeks flushed from the game's chase. He presses his small palms against the trunk, fingers splaying across the bark, feeling its textured ridges like a map of hidden story. The tree seems to lean toward him, branches swaying just enough to rustle, a soft shush-shush that sounds almost like approval. You can smell the damp earth rising from the roots, mingling with the boy's own scent, a sun-baked skin and wild grass from the fields beyond town. He tilts his head back, gazing up into the canopy, where sunlight shafts pierce like golden threads, illuminating motes of dust that swirl lazily in the air. The other children gather around, their game forgotten for a moment, as William shares some secret the tree has whispered, perhaps of birds nesting high above, or squirrels scampering along the limbs. Their voices weave together, high and clear, echoing off the bricks, but there's no urgency, only the pure joy of discovery. You feel the grass tickle your ankles as you shift slightly on the bench, the coolness seeping through your shoes, grounding you in this shared delight. The breeze carries the faint tang of wood smoke from a distant chimney, a reminder of hearts where stories like this one are born. As the sun arcs higher, the children drift back to their play, tag and hide and seek, unfolding in the shade's generous border. William lingers longest, tracing a finger along a particularly deep groove in the bark, as if committing its shape to memory. You notice how the tree's shadow stretches long across the square, enveloping the stones in a cool, protective veil, and how the leaves above murmur in agreement with the wind, a constant, soothing cadence that syncs with your own breath, in and out, slow and deep. Time eases forward now, the light shifting to the warmer hues of late afternoon, the children's laughter fading into memory's echo. Decades have passed, yet the oak endures, her crown fuller, branches thicker, roots delving deeper into the red clay soil. You're walking again, circling the tree once more, but now the square feels more settled, the buildings a touch more worn, their bricks softened by ivy and time. It's the 1890s, and Colonel William Henry Jackson returns, not as the boy, but as a man whose hair has silvered at the temples, whose steps carry the weight of years well lived. He approaches the tree with reverence, his boots scuffing softly on the cobblestones, the fabric of his woolen coat brushing against his sides. You see the lines around his eyes, etched not by hardship, but by the quiet accumulation of gazes turned skyward. He pauses at the trunk, hand resting where his boy's palm once lay. And you feel the warmth of that connection radiate outward, like sunlight absorbed and held. The air is thick with the scent of magnolia blossoms from a nearby yard, heavy and sweet, blending with the oak's own earthy musk, a perfume of persistence. Colonel Jackson unfolds a paper from his pocket, the deed he has crafted with care, words inked to grant the tree dominion over itself and its encircling land. You watch as he reads it aloud, his voice low and steady, carrying across the empty square like a vow exchanged in confidence. The tree listens, branches still, but leaves quivering faintly, as if in acknowledgement. You can hear the distant clip-clop of a horse-drawn cart on the main road, muffled by the foliage, and the soft hum of bees working the wildflowers at the tree's base. He folds the deed and tucks it away, then sinks onto the same stone bench where you rested earlier, his posture easing into the wood's embrace. The shade cools his brow, and he closes his eyes, breathing in the layered air, the loam, the blooms, the faint salt of his own skin. You settle beside him, not intruding, but sharing the space, feeling the bench's worn surface press gently into your thighs, the tree's presence a living wall at your back. Time here feels elastic, stretching to hold this moment. A man's love made manifest, not in grand gesture, but in quiet legal grace, ensuring the oak's sovereignty against the world's encroachments. As evening draws near, the light turns to amber, painting the bark in strokes of honey glow. Fireflies begin their tentative dance at the edges of the square, tiny lanterns flickering in the gathering dusk. Colonel Jackson rises slowly, touching the trunk once more, a farewell that is also a promise, and walks away down the cobblestones, his silhouette lengthening with the shadows. You remain, the night's first stars pricking the sky above the canopy, the rustle of leaves now accompanied by the chorus of crickets, a serenade as old as the roots below. Scene shifts again, softer this now, like pages turning in a breeze. It's 1942, and the air holds a different weight, thicker, laced with the ozone scent of an approaching storm. The oak, ancient and weary after 4 centuries, sways in a wind that whispers of change. You stand at the circle's edge, feeling the ground tremble faintly beneath your feet, the cobblestones vibrating with the tree's quiet struggle. Branches creak, not in protest but in release, leaves scattering like confetti in the gusts. When she falls, it's with a grace that belies her size, a slow leaning, then a hush as trunk meets earth, the impact muffled by the waiting soil. Dust rises in a soft cloud, carrying the deep, resinous aroma of heartwood exposed, mingling with rain's first patter on the leaves above. The square falls silent, townsfolk gathering at a respectful distance, their faces etched with sorrow and resolve. You feel the earth sigh, a subtle shift as roots relinquish their hold, and yet in that release, there's space for renewal. Days blend into weeks, the storm's moisture nurturing the fallen acorn that had long rested in the shade. You watch as hands, gentle community hands, clear the space, planting the offspring with ceremony. The young shoot rises tentative at first, its leaves tender and few, bark smooth as a child's skin. The air around it hums with hope, scented with turned soil and fresh mulch. The sun's rays now unfiltered, bathing the sapling in encouragement. Children return to the square, their games circling wider to honor the new guardian. Laughter threading through the air, like sunlight through branches yet to grow. You sit again on the bench, now repaired with fresh mortar, and feel the young tree's energy, a vibrant pulse, like a heartbeat quickening under soil. The breeze carries the chatter of the townsfolk, voices low with stories of the original, of Colonel Jackson's deed preserved in town records. Time accelerates here, seasons wheeling like the oak's own growth rings, springs of unfurling leaves, summers of dense shade, autumns of copper fall, winters of bare limbs etched against gray skies. Each year, the trunk thickens, branches reach higher, the canopy broadens to reclaim the square's heart. And now, as the light of the present day settles around you, mid-afternoon in this eternal now, the son of the tree that owns itself stands fully realized, a worthy heir to the legend. The cobblestones gleam under a benevolent sun, the ivy on the buildings thicker, laced with the subtle graffiti of passing years. You walk the circle once more, the grass now lush and springy underfoot, violets giving way to clover in the dappled spots. The trunk, though younger, bears the patina of decades, bark roughened just enough to invite touch. Your fingers brush it lightly, warm, alive, vibrating with the subtle flow of sap and wind. The shade is profound, cooling your neck and arms, the leaves above a verdant roof filtering light into 1,000 soft lanterns. You hear the rustle, constant and comforting, like pages in a book only half read. And the birds, now mockingbirds and wrens, trilling melodies that echo the children's long-ago songs. Students from the nearby university stroll the square, backpacks slung low, their conversations a gentle murmur blending with the tree's whisper. One pauses to read the plaque at the base, words etched in bronze recounting the deed, the fall, the rebirth. You feel the continuity, the love that Colonel Jackson sowed, now harvested in these quiet acknowledgments. The air smells of pine from a distant grove, undercut with the faint, comforting aroma of coffee from a cafe down the street. Grounding the timeless in the everyday. You return to the bench, its stone now warmed by the sun, and settle deeply, your body sinking into the seat as if it remembers you. Legs extend before you, feet resting on the grass's edge, hands folded in your lap. The tree's presence envelops you, branches arching overhead like a cathedral's vault, shadows playing across your closed eyelids. You notice your breath aligning with the leaves' sway, in with the breeze's rise, out with its fall, and profound ease spreads through your limbs, heavy and rooted. Across the centuries, faces flicker in the periphery. The boy's wonder, the colonel's resolve, the planter's care. The students pause, each connected by this oak, by the shade that cools, the roots that hold, the legacy that persists without fanfare. You might lean back, head against the fence, feeling the wood's grain press softly, and let the sounds wash over. The rustle, the birds, the distant hum of life. No hurry to move. This spot is yours as much as the trees. A pocket of peace where time loops gently, endlessly, as the sun dips lower, painting the canopy in strokes of rose and gold. You feel yourself drifting within the story, eyelids heavier, body looser. The square blurs at the edges, cobblestones fading to dream soft focus, yet the tree remains sharp, eternal. Children's laughter echoes faintly, now timeless, blending with the wind's sigh. You are held here, in the love that transcends Jackson's, the community's, nature's own, each breath a thread weaving you deeper in caressed. And so you stay, nestled in the shade, the grass a pillow beneath, the branches a lullaby above. The world narrows to this, the cool touch on your skin, the earthy breath in your lungs, the quiet pulse of life that owns itself, and in owning sets you free to surrender. Drift now, if you will, into the oak's embrace, where sleep waits like an old friend, ready to carry you through the night. If you're still with me here under the oak's watchful branches, that's lovely. We've shared this gentle path together. But if you've already slipped into dreams, carried off by the rustle of leaves or the square's quiet hum, that's the sweetest gift of all. I'm going to ease away now, leaving you with the soft sounds of the tree itself, the whispering wind through ancient leaves, the distant song of birds settling for the evening, and the subtle shift of branches in the southern breeze. These will continue, layering with a faint undercurrent of children's echoes and the earth's own steady breath, all woven with the lightest touch of acoustic strings, simple, unadorned, like a lullaby from the hills. You don't need to hold on to any of it. Let the sounds become your companions, fading as they will, guiding you deeper without effort. This peace, this shade, it's yours to keep, blooming anew each time you return. Rest well, my friend. May your night be wrapped in the oak's enduring calm. Good night.